Welcome back. Nice to have you with us this evening. So, job done for Manchester United. Now, the #1 trend on Twitter right now is Jesse Lingard, because everyone seems to have an opinion about him. He was on the score sheet tonight. What really matters to me is the opinion of you two when it comes to Jesse. There's a lot of talk about Jadon Sancho coming in. As things stand right now, Paul, what do you think is the future for Jesse Lingard?
I'm not totally sure, Jake. I do think when he's playing well, he has something to offer. I think lately he hasn't been good enough, really. Is he a starting 11 player if you're going to go on to win the league and win the big trophies at Man United? I'm not sure he is. I know he scored last couple of games, and tonight was a game where you think this is a chance for Jesse to play 90 minutes along with Fred, and when Ollie took him off after an hour, I thought then that this is a sign that Ollie is probably thinking moving him on. Look, I might be totally wrong by that, but that is just the feeling I get. Because, when you've got fringe players and you need to get them games, tonight was a perfect opportunity for 90 minutes. He scored a goal as well. His confidence might have grown a little bit. I don't think he was particularly great in the game, but to bring him off after an hour when I don't think there's any way in the world he's going to start the game on Monday. I think that was a little sign, and possibly with Fred as well, maybe the same situation. You might be thinking of offloading the pair of them. Do
you agree with Paul's reading of that?
I think Jesse needs to play more football, and I don't think he's going to do that at Man United. I just think the team, the starting 11 is set, especially if Jadon Sancho is going to come in. He'll probably want to play more. I thought today he had some good touches in the game. He was probably the most creative player of everybody attacking-wise. I love that little flick there. And because Jesse can play multiple positions, I think he's a good squad player. And like Scholes said, when you play in these positions, you got to come in and play that Mason Greenwood and get, 10 goals. And, Bruno Fernandes is scoring goals and getting assists. And I think the numbers just haven't been there for Jesse, and that's why he's not going to play. But I thought today he had some good moments. He loves driving with the ball, getting into those positions. His numbers just need to get up. But I thought he was probably the brightest United player today, and this was his best moment, really, getting a goal, which was great for his confidence. 2 in a row, one against Leicester and one in this one, and that's what he does well. He just needs to do more, just run off the ball, run into that space, and he did it today, and he got his reward. And I think Scholes makes a good point. He was frustrated when he went off, because he's right. He would have wanted to play 90 minutes because he's not going to get many more opportunities.
And look, Paul, whether it's you or it's Owen or it's Rio Ferdinand or it's Robin van Persie, any time a former Man United player talks about Man United, it makes headlines. And when Jesse Lingard sees these headlines, which he may well about him, and should he be staying or going, he might feel frustrated and think, why are you even having that conversation? I've just played the game, I scored the goal. But maybe there's a moment where it's good for everyone. He's only made 9 Premier League starts this season. He's 27 years old, almost 28. Maybe it's the right thing for everyone.
Yeah, you possibly could be right. I was just thinking that as well while I was watching those clips. I know what Jesse's capable of. I grew up with him, watching him, playing with him, coaching him in the reserve team. So I know what he's capable of. He's capable of a lot better than he's showing. I just think at United now he's just become a squad player, really. And you think about it, is he 26, 27 now?
27, he's 28 in December.
Does he really... 27, 28 in December. He should be at the peak of his career. Does he want to be playing 10, 15, possibly 20 games a season at that age? I don't think so. I think he still has ambitions probably to get in the England squad, and he needs to find some form for that. And is he ever going to get that chance at United? I don't think, unless there's a lot of injuries, a lot of people out, I don't see him getting I don't see him getting a run of games, really, unless he moves to a club not where he's guaranteed football. He still has to fight for his place, but a club, say a mid-table team, possibly, I don't know, an Everton, a West Ham, something like that. I don't know, but I know I like Jesse. Jesse's a good lad. There's a lot of ability in there. He just needs a run of games to do it, but I don't think he'll get that at Man United.
OK, tell you what, let's hear from him. He's with Matt Smith.
Jesse, they made you work hard as a team for that, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they came here with nothing to lose, and we knew he was going to start on the front foot. So, they made it difficult, first half, but I felt like we wore them out second half and we stuck to the game plan.
2 goals in 2 games for you. That sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you take confidence from goals, and I've wanted to obviously, add goals, this season, and obviously I've started and scored, so hopefully I can carry on throughout the competition now.
You're definitely claiming it because I know the defender got a little bit of it on it, didn't he?
Yeah, of course. You sometimes, not all worldies. You take them ones.
Yeah. Equally, you were not far from where I was sat when you saw your number came up. When I naturally saw your face fall a little bit, you would have rather stayed on. Most players would.
Yeah, of course. I was enjoying the game. I enjoy football naturally anyway, and I felt like I would have scored more, but obviously it is the manager's decision, and I stuck by that.
Yeah, I know you've talked about it being a tough season actually on and off the pitch. Does football help?
Yeah, I mean, of course, when you're in the right mental state, of course, football takes your mind away from everything, and I love football and enjoy football, and of course, Man United is in my blood, and I love playing for the club.
And you still feel you're going to get chances here?
Yeah, 100%. Especially playing against LASK today, there's a lot of space in behind, and my goal, was part of that. Obviously, one seeing a run, and obviously I stayed on side and. Had to be composed.
Yeah, and as a group, I guess those that perhaps haven't had as many chances this season thus far, maybe you've done a little bit tonight to get into the thinking for next week. It'll be a big couple of weeks if you can go all the way.
Yeah, of course. I think we need the squad now. We're doing well. In personnel with injuries, and we come together as a team next week, and of course we fly out for the Copenhagen game, and our mindset's on that and to get through there.
Nice to see the smile.
Cheers,
Good luck next week.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Paul's not sure he will be. He thinks that might be it for him for this season at least. What do you think?
I think Jesse could be a good impact player off the bench. Obviously, the starting 11 is set, but I think Jesse, at times, I think when he gets goals and assists, he has a huge impact on games. And I think his greatest attribute is his movement, is running off the ball. And I think the coaches must have said something to him there, because he mentioned in his interview that the space was there to run in behind. A lot of players come short, get the ball. Jesse can make space for other people with his runs, and coaches want that. So I think Jesse could be a big impact off the bench. He's not going to start every game, we know that now. But off the bench, I think he could, when things open up, I think he could help.
Didn't he?
Yeah, but he's down because he knows that was a big opportunity for him. He didn't get to finish the game. And he knows maybe he's not going to get many more games, like Scholes, he said. So you want to play, and I think he's only going to get that run if he gets an opportunity. That was an opportunity. He scored in his last 2 games. He probably just wants more of it.
Yeah. Oh, and they're talking about coming on and making an impact, Paul. That's what we saw tonight from Martial. With all those changes, it was one of those moments where he came on and you just saw that little difference in quality.
Yeah, well, that's why he plays every week. He's got real quality, hasn't he? As a centre-forward, as a wide player, he's been terrific this season. Probably one of the players of the season for Man United. And tonight was no different. He scored a lot of goals like this, a lot of passing and movement, 1-2, great feet to go past. It gets a little bit fortunate with the finish, but I've been really impressed by Martial. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really like him. I think he's been brilliant this season, and hopefully there's more of this to come for him, not only in the next 2 weeks, but also next season as well.
And a lovely little glance straight away at Ollie and a smile towards the bench. You sort of get the sense that the two have got a great relationship, and Ollie's really worked hard to improve his game, hasn't he? He's been sort of the perfect manager, I think, for Martial.
Yes, I think he has, Jake, exactly. I think when Ollie first came in, I don't think Martial was hungry enough for goals. I don't think he lived on goals. Even in training, maybe he wasn't doing his finishing, doing his practicing. And I think Ollie's really put that into him, because he knows what he's capable of. He's quick, he's skillful, he can fly past people. Very difficult to play against, but the lad had to improve his finishing and his goal scoring, and there's no doubt this season he's really done that, and a little nod to Ollie there to show him.
And very quickly, Paul said in the build-up to this that he thinks a number 9 is what Man United need to focus on. Jadon Sancho would be great, but a striker's what they want. Do you agree with that? Do you still think that is an area that Martial can't fill for them?
Well, I think defensively, they're one of the better teams in the Premier League. But in terms of goal scoring, they were way behind Liverpool and City. So you could do with a 20-goal score, but I think I'd take Jadon first and then maybe get Mandzukic on a free.
Not a bad win. Yeah, it was a win. It wasn't a great win, but it was a win, and that's all they needed this evening. Let's get the reaction of the Manchester United boss.
Ollie, what did you learn from that?
Well, we learned that the players need to play to keep the sharpness. Of course, they haven't played for a while, some of these lads, and it showed. But also, we win again, make another debut, one of the kids. So it's been a good night.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the young lad, because obviously a lot of the folks at home won't necessarily know that much about Teden Mengi making his debut tonight.
No, he's a leader, centre back. Of course, he's one that we believe in. It's the age group of Mason, so they've grown up together. Good mates, and strong, quick, good on the ball. So I think we've got a decent player there.
Yeah, and you're, I wouldn't say looking for centre halves, but you're a little bit short with injuries, obviously. Yeah. Lindelof just rested tonight, no problem with him.
Yeah, so Victor should be okay to travel, but. Of course, great to get Eric through a game again, because he's had his ups and downs with injuries. So and he played really well.
You got a bang on the head, but I think
that's just Eric. That's okay. His playing style.
You got into very good positions a lot of the time. Maybe just did you learn that perhaps that little bit of care or quality that final ball?
It is that sharpness that you lack when you don't play regularly. Of course, some of these haven't really played since the lockdown. Played last time against Norwich, that's more than a month ago. So for me, it's a good exercise, job done, minutes under the belt, and ready to travel.
You're through to play Copenhagen, as you'll now know. Inter also got through tonight. Now, we understand Alexis Sanchez, obviously until now Manchester United player on loan at Inter, will be confirmed as an Inter player permanently tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. And so I can confirm that. And Alexis had a good time over there, a good player, so we wish him all the best.
And on your strikers, you've got obviously some nice options. Yep. I noticed when Anthony scored, there was a smile from him and you, and a bit of a wistful look from Marcus. Is there a bit of a competition going on?
No, but Anto was... we needed to win the game, of course. I wanted to, and I couldn't get all of them on. We want to win, and Anto was begging to come on, and but he promised a goal as well, so well done.
Maybe Marcus will get his chance next week.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Appreciate your time.
He loved scoring goals. He loved to see his players scoring goals. A little mention, actually, of Teden Mengi. I know you've worked with a lot of the youngsters at United over the last few years, Paul. That's now 8 academy graduates who've made their first team debut this season. That's kind of a story that's gone under the radar a bit, but it's a crucial one in the Man United DNA, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. Yeah, look, Sir Alex Ferguson was desperate to get young players playing, and Ollie's gone the same way. They have to be good enough, of course, to do, and they obviously think highly of this lad, but no, let's hope this is first of many to come. He looked to have a good size about him. We didn't see that much of him, obviously, it was only the last 5 or 10 minutes, but the academy are producing players, and you've got to give people credit for that at the club. Nicky Butt especially has been very instrumental in that. He's bringing Mason through, obviously involved with Marcus as well, which is great. And Brandon Williams, another one who's come up burst onto the scene this season, has been really good. So, yeah, the future's bright. Well, let's hope they can still keep on producing these young players, which the club is all about.
And some of those youngsters could end the season helping to lift some silverware. I mean, this is just brilliant for them, isn't it? This is a quarter-final of a European competition, and they're going to play not even the best team in Denmark. I mean, this is brilliant from a United perspective, and they're over one leg as well, which kind of increases their chances, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you have to respect the opposition, but I think Scholes said before the game, they're the favourites for the competition. And with the utmost respect to Copenhagen, I think they're going to blow them away. Man United starting 11, with all those players in there with Pogba and Fernandes. Martial came off the bench and scored. Pogba came on and looked good. As you said, they got another debut to Mengi. So there were a lot of positives, I think, in the game. Jesse Lingard had another good game and got a goal. So I think they'll be full of confidence for Monday, and let's see if they can win really big.
And it's an easy motivational job as well, I think, for the manager, isn't it? Because he says to them, look, this is our own little World Cup. This is our sort of final tournament of 8. 3 games, less than 2 weeks, win them, and you pick up silverware. I mean, it's a great and easy message. Yeah,
it's very simple, isn't it? Look, United should be winning trophies. There's no doubt about that. Look, if they don't do that this time with the Europa League, it'll be 3 years without a trophy. So that'll be a major disappointment. I also think they missed a little bit of a trick in the FA Cup, to be honest. I think that was there for the taking. One City got knocked out on the Saturday. I thought that should have changed Ollie's team. I thought he should have carried on playing the same team. Instead, he rested players, and that, unfortunately, went against them. But this Europa League's a really big opportunity for him now. As I say, there's some decent teams left in it. You can't dismiss the likes of Sevilla, who I think they won it 3 times on the trot at one stage. Roma, obviously, will have quality. Italian teams are always difficult to play against. But the biggest team, the biggest threat to Man United to win this Europa League, Inter Milan. I think they're, along with United, the best team in it. I think if that's the final, that'll be a great final. But it's something really to look forward to. I think there's motivation on each side, especially from Inter players. You look at Lukaku, the way he left the club, that could be a big story. But I just think if United are firing, they're mentally right, they're fresh. I think they've got better players in Inter Milan. I think they'll just come through that. But well, let's just hope they'll beat Copenhagen. I don't think it's a problem. As Ollie said, they'll dismiss them. Sevilla and Roma, a little bit touches, but dicey, I suppose. But still, you'd expect them to beat either of them. And as I say, Inter Milan in the final. What a final that'll be! That'll be something really to look forward to at the end of the season.
And we know this is a project from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We know it's a long-term project as well, and it remains a work in progress. He said, didn't he, very clearly at the beginning of the season, we're making it harder for ourselves by shifting on some of the players. And one of them scored a goal tonight, Romelu Lukaku. Alexis Sanchez gets announced tomorrow as being an Inter player. How important, from Ole's personal perspective, to get a trophy as part of this project early on?
Oh, I think it's going to be huge. And I think one thing that's actually gone under the radar is the fact that he's bringing people in around him like him. You know, Scholes and I know Ole, Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna, all those types. They're all they're really good guys. You know, they know their stuff, but they're good guys. And Ole wants good people around him, and he wants good players that represent that as well. And I think that's what he's done. He wants those players that want to be there, that represent what he did. Ole knows, Scholes knows, he was quiet, Ole, on the football pitch, but he carried himself in a way with this determination. And I think I look at his staff and look at his players, that's what he's trying to get at them. Look, no coincidence, Lukaku's gone, Sanchez is gone, and they're bringing these types of players now, like Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Dan James. That's the blueprint for the future.
Hey, Paul, you don't need to be loud to be a leader, right?
I agree, Joe, yes.